At 7 o'clock, we got Charlotte, who's 1-2, traveling to number 25, Florida, who's 2-1. Let's go, baby. Chomp, chomp. You don't come down to the swamp and try to beat us. Florida favored by 28 on ESPN+. Trexler Ivy for Charlotte has gone 25 of 33, thrown for 330 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jalen Jones had 32 carries for 196 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Jack Hestera had 14 catches for 194 yards and a touchdown. Graham Mertz has gone 64 of 85, thrown for 692 yards, 3 touchdowns to 1 interception. Has not thrown as many touchdowns as I thought he has. But Trevor Etienne went off against the Tennessee Volunteers. He's had 41 carries for 281 yards and 2 touchdowns. And Ricky Pearsall has obviously been that guy at Florida. He's had 20 catches for 258 yards and a touchdown. These two teams have never played. Charlotte's an interesting football team in that they've been eliminated since week 2, but I've talked about them week 3 and now week 4. I've talked about them all 4 weeks, and they have not been in playoff contention all that long. They've been eliminated a while ago. But Charlotte's 2 losses, to be fair, are against 2 pretty good football teams, right? They lost at Maryland and honestly had a lead in that game for a sizable portion of it. That was not a bad football game Charlotte played against Maryland. And then you compare that to also, they played a pretty good Georgia State team last week, I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure they played a really good Georgia State team who just won against Coastal Carolina on Thursday. Like, that's a Georgia State team that is now 4-0 and is looking like a legitimate threat in the Sun Belt, and they're one of the teams I'm going to be talking about next week. So, I mean, I don't think this Charlotte team's all that bad, but I do think this Florida team has the possibility of being really good. Graham Mertz has been playing extremely well. The run game looks significantly better. And again, we have 2 of the better running backs. I think we have the second best running back duo in all of college football, only behind Nick Singleton and Katron Eller for Penn State. But Trevor Etienne and Montrell Johnson is an amazing 1-2 punch at running back. Ricky Pearsall is one of the best skill receivers in the game. Unfortunately for Florida, they need to figure out how to get other people involved. They were getting number 3 involved in last game, but still, none of these are coming close to Ricky Pearsall's numbers. So if it turns out if you're going to need to win a big games, it's got to be Pearsall. Our defense played amazingly well against Tennessee. We kind of went cruise control in the second half. Again, we scored 3 total points, I think. Yeah, it's just like we didn't need to do much in the second half. We just decided to go with the chew clock every possession. We can just take 2 minutes off this clock every possession, and that's fine. And it ended up working. I didn't super love the conservative thing. If Florida's going to win big games, though, their kicker has to make kicks. We've missed a field goal and an extra point, and then we went for 2 and didn't get it. Again, we left 5 points on the board against Tennessee. And against teams like Georgia, against teams like LSU and Florida State, where we have to play at the end of the year, we won't win those games if we leave points like that on the board. Charlotte shouldn't be that much of a threat, but I'm still kind of scared because last time we played a team I didn't think was going to be a threat was USF, and they gave me a scare. So I don't want to count them out Charlotte too early because I don't know how good of a football team they are. They've played 2 dang good football teams, and they gave one of them a really good fight. I still think Florida's much better than Charlotte. I'm excited for next week against Kentucky because I think there's a chance Kentucky's still undefeated at that point. I think Florida has a chance to hand Kentucky their first loss. Give me Florida to win and cover at home.